Hello, Mary here. I have an announcement to make on the reason why all the videos on my channel suddenly went missing and what this channel's future is gonna be. For I'm assuming all of you, this is the first time you've ever even heard my voice, which is a real shame because of the circumstances under which I'm actually talking to you. So for those of you who subscribed because of the Hosmo music extensions, you're probably wondering, hey Mary, where'd the music go? A short while ago, Life Wonders, the company behind Tokyo After School Summoners, made a revision to their copyright guidelines. The revision in question is that they no longer allow public redistribution of game audio, which includes voice lines and music. And as such, I've had to take down all my videos for the time being. As for the voice lines, that dealt a pretty hefty blow to the Hosmo wiki since a large portion of the character pages was taken up by character voice lines. You know, because that's something that lots of gacha wikis have and that their companies are totally fine with. The majority of the Hosmo wiki Discord was pretty outraged by this, but ultimately we all kinda came to terms with it, since it's understandable that Life Wonders might want to hide some things from data miners before their official release. You know, standard company stuff. However, of the last 24 hours, it's kinda become clear that they had something else in mind for hiding voice lines from us. Yesterday, Life Wonders released an announcement for the AR gacha. For those of you who have kind of fallen out of the loop with Hosmo as of late, AR is an abbreviation for Akashic Records, and the way that they function is basically just as equipment. You can attach an AR card to a unit on your team, which provides that unit with some kind of buff. For example, one AR card that has already been released as a sort of free unit/trial run for the dungeon system is Yogg-Sothoth, who I'm sure you recognize as Shiro's exception from Chapter 2 of the main story. The buff that he provides is a chance to nullify the debuff Fear. The way that these skills are powered up is that the more times you acquire a card, the higher those chances become of that buff activating. Once you acquire 100 copies of Yogg-Sothoth, his anti-fear buff increases to the point that a unit can no longer be afeared. That is, once you get 100 copies of him, that nullification chance increases from 20% to 100%. But if that 100 copies thing feels like a bat swung against your head, brace yourself for the next few blows that Life Wonders just dealt to us. The AR gacha has the exact same rates and costs as the regular transient gacha in this game. That is, it takes 50 stones to do a multi-pull, and there is a 2% chance of getting a 5-star unit, and a 15% chance of getting a 4-star unit. Think about the odds of getting the same 5-star character more than once in this game. You have a 2% chance of getting any 5-star unit, not just your fave, and even with rate ups, your odds of getting him are sadistically slim given how many 5-stars have been released in this game, so your odds are usually less than 1%. However, once you get him, you really only need that one. After that, any more copies of him you get lead to only a small strength increase in his charge skill. Now consider that the AR gacha has those same chances, but in order to access an AR card's full potential, you need to get it multiple times. For 3-star cards, and below, 1-star, 2-star, 3-star cards, that requires getting it 100 times in the gacha. In order to fully power up a card, you are literally required to get multiple copies of it, so even if you only get one copy, it's borderline useless. Getting multiple copies of an AR is also the only way to increase its maximum level cap, so you straight up can't even raise its level above level 1 unless you get it at least twice. Oh yeah, did you miss that thing I said earlier about how much it costs? Because it's the same cost as the regular gacha. 50 stones for a multi-pull. To clarify, players can only obtain stones in 3 ways: login bonuses, completing new missions, and paying from their own real-world pockets. However, new missions are released at a trickle with only a few each month if we're lucky, and steadily logging in on a daily basis only gives you 5 stones per week. So doing the math, That means that free-to-play players need to wait about 2.5 months before they have enough stones for a single multi. That was bad enough with just one gacha, but now that there's a second one, that divides resources even further. And before you whales start getting all mad about free-to-play players whining, don't. Because guess what? They just raised the prices for purchasable stones too. Oh yeah, you're still wondering about that voice line thing and how the AR gacha connects to that? I'm getting there, don't worry. The ARs aren't just pretty art. Each one contains story and lore information. On top of all that, the rarest ARs, the 5 stars, which you have a 2% chance of getting, have their own special voice lines. More specifically, their entire conversations that play between characters in the middle of battle. And since we as fans are no longer allowed to redistribute audio from the game, the only way that one can access those lines is if they obtain said AR card. A 5-star AR card. A 2% chance. For 50 fucking stones. And even if you do get it, the only way most non-Japanese speaking players have a shadow of a chance of understanding it is on the off chance that one of the fandom's few scattered fan translators can get their hands on the card as well, because sharing voice lines with one another is illegal now. Oh yeah, one last thing. Buckle in, lads, ladies, and everyone in between, because here's the last critical blow. This AR gacha isn't going to be the only one. We know from the Set Sail rerun that happened earlier this year that Life Wonders plans on releasing limited ARs, presumably with their own limited gachas, to boost event drops. Like that thing they do with units, like limited variants and all that, except you have to try even harder because they're on a separate gacha that costs the same as the regular gacha. Oh, yeah, and their joyful little release bonus for this new feature that they're so proud of, 3 single AR tickets. 3 single pulls on the AR gacha. They're also giving out 2 Salomon tickets and 300 of those AR level up items, those Saturn things you see in the picture there. For those of you who haven't used them, 300 Saturns is enough to raise 3 AR units to their maximum level. However, need I remind you, you need to get an AR unit multiple times, for most, up to 100 times, in order to get them to the point that you can use all of those. And as of right now, they've made no announcements to adjust the login bonuses or give any more stones to players to make the costs easier. I am genuinely sickened by this gacha. That's not hyperbole, by the way. The moment I got the news this morning, I legit started to feel ill. I've spent the last year of my life loving this game and meeting so many people through it, and getting so excited with all of them whenever something new happened. Hell, I've even spent quite a bit of money on this game to get some extra stones because the LGBT community doesn't have as much content as it should, especially for video games, and I wanted to give this game my support. But now, I don't think I can anymore. I refuse to give any more money to a developer this greedy. This wouldn't be such a problem if they gave out more stones for login bonuses, or lowered the cost of the AR gacha to something like 10 stones per multi, or adjusted the rates to make them less impossible to get without selling your kidney, or heck, even making it so that you can spend FP on the AR gacha. Remember FP? Remember that? Yeah, you probably don't. The point is, there's just so many ways that they could go about making this better, and they just didn't. If you want to contact Life Wonders, I've put links in the description to places and ways you can contact them. In the event that you do want to make your opinion heard, and you do end up contacting them, please put it in a constructive way. I know it's infuriating, but they'll be less likely to listen if you just rage at them without explaining your reasoning. But I know we can make a change if we all let them know how we feel. As for this channel's future, well, to be honest, I always wanted to start doing Let's Plays. It just seemed fun because I know people love to see other people react to fun video games. However, I know that's not what most of you subscribed for. I wish that I could just keep making music extensions for this game that I used to love, but Life Wonders has made it impossible. I hope that you'll stick around regardless, but I'm sorry that I can't keep doing what I set out to do. The saddest and most ironic part about all of this is that I actually wanted to start doing Let's Plays so that I could work up to doing a Let's Play of Tokyo After School Summoners with some of my friends once the game got a little bit more translated in a couple years, because I loved this game and I wanted to share it with them, but now I can't recommend this game in good conscience to anyone. With this new gacha, new players are going to find it even more difficult to break into the game, since the gachas are going to be dividing their resources, which are already pretty paltry. So, I can't imagine that it'll be enjoyable for new players to try to pick up. Even veteran players that I've spoken to hate this new gacha. In short, I'm sorry that I can't keep doing with what I've been doing. I wish I could do more, but this is the most we can do for now, by letting Life Wonders know that we're displeased with the current state of things. And please, if you can, try to spread the word. The more people that contact Life Wonders to let them know they should fix this, the better the odds will actually make a change. Thanks for watching.